Hi, everybody. I'm Mel Dorr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, and I've got Linda Grindel in the house. Yay.
Hi, everybody. And I got Tom Petty on the chest.
Linda and I are womping up some more events for us to do. One here in Chicago.
We're trying to get dates and times and where we're at.
But we're going to get our heads together and do that. So we'll let you know. Also, Infomercial. I've still got my trek to the gorillas. It's selling out pretty quick. I think I've only
some of you can find yourself a husband.
I'm sorry.
Some people can find themselves a husband.
There you go. Well, I'm going to go visit my relatives. This is my first cousin right here. Not on my mom's side. If my mom's cousins were watching this, oh my God, they'll kill me.
They'll kill you.
Not on my dad's side either, my adopted first cousin.
My mama gonna kill me.
I'm gonna get in big trouble.
Right.
Anyway, my great niece is coming. I'm so excited. We got people coming from all over. And I've got openings for 5 more people, and it's selling out pretty quick. And that sounds like the perfect sales pitch, but it's not. I can only take 20 people. And so now one person went on the website through Mayflower and it listed at 4,100, and they wanted to know the discrepancy. Well, because that's just the land portion, but Mayflower is covering on this trip all the licenses, which are almost $900 some odd to see the chimpanzees and the gorillas. You have to pay licensing fees. And
I never knew that.
Yeah, that money goes,
every day.
That money goes to upkeep the park and upkeep the gorillas, and they're coming back. There's only I think over 1,000 left, but they are coming back. And so It's amazing.
Awesome.
And it's also round trip airfare from Chicago to Uganda and back. And if you're coming from another place other than Chicago, they will route your air. You'll have to pay extra for that. But it covers all meals. It covers taxes, air. I've got a whole breakdown of it, but anyway.
When people pay, do they pay via PayPal or?
They don't pay me. What I do is I take a reservation form, and then I get their credit card number, and then I turn that reservation form into Mayflower, and they handle it. So I don't have to handle it. I don't have to handle any of that.
Because with the events that I do, like with Sedona and stuff, I've been using PayPal, and it has been a nightmare. PayPal holds on to the money for 21 days. So somebody could purchase the site, and then they're like, well, Linda, I realized I can't go. And you want to be able to just turn around and hand them the money back, but you can't because they're holding on to it. Then if they put the money and replace it, if you paid by a card, you got to wait 3 or 4 days for the card. So I was talking to Leah at my Angel Heart event the other night. It was so much fun. Anyway, she said you get a merchant account through your bank. And so I'm going to check into that.
You can do that, but I just did that. And the problem is to accept credit cards on that. They're really iffy about it because it's very risky, because they're saying, if you get deposits and you have to return those deposits, if they set up a billing dispute, what's going to happen? My advice would be to set up a personal account for yourself on this stuff. Take it through Venmo or Zelle. Then
Venmo takes a good chunk too.
I know, but then what you can do, they don't hold your money. Then you can
that's the main thing. I would pay more if they don't hold the money.
Then you could take that and put it into a business account over here and just say that.
Well, that's like what I got now. Now they finally released the money. Most of that money, I've put the deposits, I've paid half the money to the teachers, and most of the money I'm going to put in, I put in a separate account.
Right.
Because they're going to have another 40,000 due in a couple of months. And then, so it's separate from anything else I have.
Correct. That's how I would do it.
Yeah.
Or just have them send a check.
Yeah, I did get a bunch of checks, but that's kind of a pain too,
I know, but it's easier, I think.
And I've had a couple of people that paid me by check. I just got to turn around and send them a check.
That's right, but it's easier.
They're doing checks.
You don't have to go through the rigmarole. This I don't handle. Mayflower takes care of all of it. However,
I like that.
I cannot I cannot turn in a reservation form without a deposit. I used to be able to do that, but I can't do that anymore. Especially this trip, there's only room for 20 people. We've only got 10 rooms. And so, you know, and final payment on this one is December the 7th, 6 months before. Normally, final payment on these is due 3 months before we leave, but this one is 6 months because they have to get the licenses to see the chimpanzees and the gorillas at least 5 or 6 months in advance. So
Oh, but for this, they only have to pay their deposit just to hold it.
they pay their deposit of $1,500. And then if they want the additional traveler protection insurance, I would suggest they take it because the deposit's non-refundable.
Right.
They can do it through Travel Guard or through Mayflower. Then as of December 7th, they have to pay the balance of that's due.
Yeah.
So it's $7,479, but that includes everything: airfare, licenses, you name it, it includes everything. So that's not bad for all inclusive 9 days, and each day we're going to like see different things, and it's going to be so cool.
I know, it sounds like fun.
You know, so for all the nature lovers, there we go. Okay.
It doesn't include your flight either, right?
The $7,479 includes round trip airfare coach from Chicago. Mayflower can route your air, like if you're in California, but you have to pay the California, wherever they're going to route it to, cost. They might not route it through O'Hare, but whatever.
One good thing, like my sister and I, when we would go to Paris or to Ireland, and we went with the group, you know how they have the group thing, and they would make your reservation. You could for $500, you could upgrade to first class.
I don't think that works that way this time. It's expensive to upgrade. I mean, if you want to upgrade from coach to business, it can cost up to $3,000. It can be expensive.
Well, that must be overseas because that's not what it is now.
It is overseas, but now people can book their own air, and if they do that, they can subtract $1,800 from the $7,479, but they have to be in Uganda at a certain time.
Right.
So, you know, I just put the air in there through Mayflower because I want to make it convenient for my travelers.
There you go. And then you guys will be so drunk when you get off the plane, nobody cares.
You know, I don't drink on an airplane, believe it or not. I'm just so jet lagged. I'm like, feel like
I used to have a nice cocktail on an airplane, but not anymore. I just drink water and I don't like using the bathroom on the plane. So
me either. Anyway.
Okay.
Are we started?
Let's start. You said you got loads of questions.
I got a lot of questions. Okay. Susie Abishima, I think. Aloha, Mel and Linda. It seems we have many foreign countries owning many of our natural resources, like Saudi Arabia and Arizona controlling the aquifer, the water under the ground. Can the government correct what is threatening our vital food and water resources?
Let me take a look. This is something I'm going to need to look at. What's your feeling?
Well, I mean, the government can control who leases our natural resources. In other words, mineral rights to properties. The government, they don't have to let foreign entities do that. So
right.
Guides tell me, yes, we can correct it. Absolutely, we can. I guess the question is, will we? That's the bigger question.
Yeah, you know, we really should have free energy, even like Tesla started, but people got too greedy.
Well, I won't say anything bad about the product, but I just don't like the owner of the company.
There
what
you go.
he's representing right now. Can the government correct what's threatening our vital food and water resources?
It's saying yes, it will. But also there's going to be, I've been saying this for a while, but there's going to be natural disasters. So there's a lot of money going to be put towards upgrading because a lot of our systems are going to fail.
I see that too. You know, oh, by the way, we were right about Bill Barr. It looks like he's in hot water because they now have proof that he lied about the Mueller probe.
Oh my God.
I saw Glenn Kirshner the other day and he was talking about it. And it looks like it's pretty serious stuff for Mr.
Well, yeah, Bill Barr's cards were always bad.
Oh,
But
well,
you know, Sterling and I were talking yesterday morning, and they asked about that young girl that was missing. And what's so weird is that night when my sister and my nephew and I were heading home from Angel Heart, Vinny knows that area where she went missing. And I was like, he was like, I'm feeling water, and I was feeling water too. I think she's in the water. And my sister said her cell phone, when she called her mom and said, I'm coming home, then her cell phone went out almost immediately. And that made sense to me that she's in the water, because the cell phone would go out in the water. Then in that morning, somebody asked the question, what happened to her? And the first thing out of Sterling's mouth was water. I said, oh my God, me too. And then within hours, they found her body.
I was just going to say, I didn't hear about it. I was just going to say I was picking up water, but who was it that went missing? I didn't hear about it.
It was a young girl. She was only 16. She was at a party. They think she might have been drinking a little too much. She called her mom and said she was on her way home.
But they suspect foul play, or that she drove
No.
into the water? She
Not
drove.
now.
She drove into the water, or
she, you know, that road, I guess it's easy for you to,
got
if
it.
she wasn't paying attention or dropped her phone or something, you know.
Wow.
But she was upside down.
I was working on a case once and somebody went missing, and I kept saying, I see brown and green swirls and muddy and I see a vehicle in the water. And that's exactly what happened. It was suicide. They drove their car in the water. So, whenever I see brown and green swirls, it means somebody's in the water.
Okay.
And when you said that, I didn't even know about this case you're talking about, but that's
right. It's out here where I live.
Okay. But Bill Barr's in deep doo-doo.
I love it. I love it because he lied, right?
Yes, he did.
Oh no, you know what? Now he's saying that he didn't really read the Mueller report. He followed Trump's suggestion.
Well, how can you say that there's something not prosecutable and quote that report and then say you didn't read it?
Mm-hmm.
Because then that shows he lied to Congress.
Yep.
And they're going to get him for that.
I love it.
They're going to get him. All right. People want to know about the public release of the warrant for Mar-a-lago.
Yeah, I haven't really looked at that.
Well, I understand the judge is going to decide whether or not if they release it, it's going to be so heavily redacted. It doesn't mean anything anyway. But the Justice Department doesn't want to release, not because they're hiding anything, because they said it would damper their investigation.
And Trump could care less. He wants the names of the people. Also, Trump and his attorneys are all in a huff and acting out, but nobody's filing anything with Fourth Amendment rights or anything like that. They're just talking crap because he knows it's not good what he did.
Well, no matter what the DOJ does, Trump's going to make them damned if they do and damned if they don't. You see, they won't release it because they're hiding something. And if they release it, you see it doesn't amount to anything anyway. And now I understand.
And now even our senators are saying, oh, the IRS is going to show up at your door.
Well, now he's saying he's going to release the video footage of the FBI raiding his place. I'm like, well, what does that mean?
Release it. But the thing is, then he's exposing who the people are.
Well, what does that mean, though? That just simply means
he won't release it because it doesn't show them. First, he said they planted everything.
Right.
And also, I believe the DOJ has subpoenaed him for those tapes.
Well, all he's got to do is edit the tapes. I mean,
but the thing is that they asked him for it back. His attorney wrote them and said, "Oh, everything is back," and it was bad enough that the attorney general had to petition to go in there and get the stuff. It was that, what do you call it, intel wise? It was really sensitive stuff.
In order to get a warrant, you have to have probable cause. So,
and somebody started ratting real soon, right next to him.
My guides show me 3 people.
Oh, really?
That's right.
I definitely got Meadows.
Good hit. I'll say it that way. Good hit. But
so this is a bunch of nonsense. This is like, he's in huge trouble. He doesn't even realize.
He realizes it. But what Trump tries to do is create anarchy. And that's what he's good at. And get
Yeah.
people like, oh my God, look at what the government's doing to him. And then, you know, the repubes that don't want to go against Trump jump on that bandwagon because they politicize it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's going on here. And I've got some questions here, numerous ones from people who want to know, well, you know, he's like Teflon, nothing was sticking, but will he skate out of this one as well? Will he get out
No.
of it? I don't see it either. Not at
No.
all.
And also, you know, in the old days of the CIA, DOJ, Trump wouldn't have been around because he's a danger.
Right.
And that's how our government used to work back in those days. If you were a danger, they got rid of you.
That's right.
But they're talking about just undercutting him majorly. So I don't know what's going on here. But I see him so overwhelmed that he's gasping for air. So I'm thinking something physical is going to happen to him.
Could it be a heart attack? Because
I see him sitting before a judge with attorneys around him. And then I see his face beat red and he's gasping for air.
when you said that, my psychic light bulb went on, like heart attack or something.
Yeah, and you know, Ivanka was young, 73?
Yes.
And I don't feel Trump hitting 80 at all. So
I've never seen a long-term future for him ever, nor have you.
and you know, when he comes out of the building in New York and he looks down the street and he waves, have you noticed his face, how he's really looking? He's counting the people that are out there to say hello. Do you know, I saw the disappointment in his face because there was no huge rally and people demanding justice. What, about 24 people showed up at Mar-a-Lago?
You mean all one person he's waving at?
He looks and he wants destruction.
Of course he does.
He would love to use that as a power play and tell the United States, well, if you want my people to stand down, you need to do this.
Dictators like that do that exact sort of thing to retain their power.
But he's looking, he's desperately looking. And the thing is, they're bullying everybody so badly. Everyone. And there were some people in the CIA, FBI, etc., that were Trumpsters.
Of course.
But they're mad at him now.
Right.
They're mad that he's doing this, that he's upsetting their families.
I think some people in the Secret Service came forward and told the DOJ that he had those secrets.
Okay, could be.
That's what I see, and I see a woman as well, because we've always said women will bring him down.
Okay.
And then just to see if he really is in deep trouble, not to question what you're saying, but I pulled the Ace of Diamonds, which means dire misfortune.
Ooh.
And so dire misfortune.
Yeah, he's not good. Barr's not good.
And so his luck is going to change. And then I pulled the Five of Hearts, which means exposure of secrets. So
yeah.
All righty. Let's see here. Okay, there's the warrant. Okay, this is a good one. Stephanie Craig. Hi, Linda and Mel.
Hi, Steph.
Do your guys ever see Trumplicans repaying the taxpayers for all of those unnecessary voting counts in Arizona and Pennsylvania, except I don't see that.
It's gone.
But they will be talking a lot about it publicly, saying, see, there was the big lie and you guys spent all that money.
I see Trump actually out loud saying, I honest to God believed it was rigged because of what Giuliani and, everybody threw at him. He ate it up. He's going to throw everybody else under the bus. I'll tell you who told him enough already was all those Republicans that are testifying on the January 6th committee, as well as Ivanka and Jared. They both said, everybody kept saying, get that drunk Giuliani out of there. Because he was just making stuff up.
But you know what, Linda, and I agree with that, but I disagree that Trump also knew that it wasn't rigged. And because Trump will come up with stuff that isn't true, or he'll like blame others for stuff he's done.
Right. Well, he thought it was rigged, but also they gave him what he needed and he ate it up like ham sandwich.
Yeah, but then when it went back to 2016, even, well, if Hillary wins, the election's rigged. So he's always got an excuse.
He's always played that, yeah.
Correct. So,
Like that Carrie Lake. She said, if I lose, it's rigged. And
right.
now she's saying if, after what happened to Trump, she's gonna have Arizona succeed from the union. And
Well,
so, but listen, she's not gonna win, and that's when she'll pitch a fit and act like it was rigged.
remember when I told you my guides were saying that certain states were talking about secession?
Yes.
Using the word secession, but she just used that word. So that tells you what their threat is. And
Yeah,
that's
she really should be arrested for even saying that.
my light bulb just went on. You know what?
What?
That's exactly what Trump was up to try to get those states to secede, to put him in power and split the country.
Ooh, that's not gonna happen.
No, it's not going to happen. But Linda, I just got cold chills.
Okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
So what would he get? Kentucky? Not
Well,
everybody in Arizona is for, Arizona voted for Biden, so not everybody
well,
in
he could
Arizona
get
is
some
for
of those deep South states,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but you-
Who get paid the most from, they get paid the most from the government. They're the poorest.
well, it would be like more like, in the Civil War where, there was, the Union against the rebels. And so against the Confederates rather. And so that's what he's trying to do. Because if
Okay.
he can get a group of states together that he can lead, that's still going to make him feel like he's in power.
There you go.
If he falls, he wants to bring down this whole country. That's what my guides are saying.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the people.
He does not at all. He doesn't care
Hey,
about.
listen, real quick, Rhonda, I had a client named Rhonda, and I saw her mother in spirit, and her mother was from Kentucky,
Wow.
Pike County,
Where?
Pike County.
Pike County.
She
Yep.
was asking, where exactly is Mel from? I said, I don't remember.
I'm from right outside of Louisville.
Okay.
Um,
So the woman on the other side, she shows me this great big flood. I thought she was in a flood. She's talking about a flood. I said, there must have been a flood in Kentucky. And Rhonda says, I don't know. And then we said, let's ask Mel. I Googled it. Huge flood in Kentucky in 1939, the year she was born.
there was an outside right in Louisville, the Ohio River. It was the 1930s, 39 or
It
37.
was 39, according
It was
to
the flood, and the Ohio River crested, and it flooded all of Louisville. And in fact, my mom, my grandma had 6 or 7 kids, and they lived right outside the city at that time. And my grandfather, he shoveled coal in a building to keep the furnaces going, to keep the buildings warm. And he got diphtheria. He didn't die, but during the flood, and you couldn't get any medicine or anything. So as a result of that, they moved way out to the country. My grandfather survived, but my mom said she could remember being so hungry. Just all they had was beans. You couldn't get food. You couldn't get anything. It was a huge flood.
So it stopped everything.
Oh my God, it was awful.
And in those days, they didn't have like the Red Cross or anyone coming out and helping folks.
Well, they did have people helping as much as they could, but it was just, Google it, you'll see. In fact, when I was a kid, there was this toy riverboat that we had, and it had mud on it, and it was from the 37 flood, or the 30
Wow.
was, but it was a huge flood, and certain parts of Kentucky just flooded again down near.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's on the border of Carbondale.
So, oh my God, you're right. So that's what I wanted to ask you, if you knew anything about, Rhonda says, ask Mel, see if he knows about it.
Absolutely. We grew up hearing those stories.
Yeah, but how many people did it kill? Did you?
I don't know, but it was devastating. It was huge.
Yeah.
Google.
And it's bad enough you're going into depression.
Yeah, I was during the Depression. And my mother told stories during the Depression, and my grandmother waiting outside the bakery in the back because the old bread they would throw out, and grandma would go get it and make bread pudding or make dressing out of it.
Oh, I love bread pudding.
My bread pudding, I'll send you the recipe. It's really good. All right. So I got another question here. Let's see. Laura,
350 people died, sorry.
okay, yeah, it was a huge, but the damage was horrendous.
Yeah.
Laura Ruthin wants to know, will Central Florida experience bad hurricanes this year? I'm in Winter Haven. I see some big hurricanes hitting Florida.
Oh, there's huge, no doubt about it.
Storms.
I've been telling people since my 2022 predictions, all I see is water.
That's me too.
I see floods. I see, right now they're even talking about California. There's, the oceans are hotter than they've ever been. It's not cold anymore, it's warm. So that's going to create, and also in the Gulf of Mexico, but also they had 2 tornado warnings in Las Vegas today.
Which is
already.
unheard of.
Unheard of. They are having monsoons, Armageddon monsoons in Utah, up at Sedona, in Phoenix.
Arizona's
and in New Mexico.
Arizona's flooding. That's right. And they were saying, well,
And,
go ahead.
and also India's going through hell.
They were saying it's a welcome relief to the drought, but the floods, it's like,
And the earth's so dry,
well, my guides tell me we haven't tipped the scale too far past the point of no return with climate change, but if we don't do something pretty soon, it's gonna be.
Yeah, and Death Valley.
And it's accelerating. Notice how it's accelerating.
Yeah,
What about-
Death Valley. They've been saying this. The scientists have been saying we got to do something, you guys. It's coming because the poles, everything's melting.
What about Death Valley? I'm sorry.
All the poles, everything's melting. All the ice is melting.
No, I know that, but you said something about Death Valley before that.
Oh, Death Valley's still having floods.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know. That's
Monsoon type floods in Death Valley.
That's unusual. Wow. Okay, Gloria, this is just a comment. It's really cool. Grab this one. This is good. Gloria Ramirez, I was in a deep sleep this morning and I was awakened by the sound of the doorbell and no one was there. Opening up YouTube, I saw your post. Thank you, Spirit Guys, for getting us followers.
Yeah, there you go, girlfriend. Oh, I did learn something. I want to tell you guys something. I was watching my favorite ghost show, which is Ghost Brothers. They are so funny. There's these 3 guys and they are hysterical. But I had learned something and I saw a live thing with the guy in a room and all of a sudden you hear like the smashing of glass. They checked everywhere. There was no glass anywhere. And I heard from someplace, and I don't remember where I heard it from, but if you hear glass, that's a portal opening.
Wow.
And he heard it was right there on live TV. There was a glass, and he's like looking, what happened? What broke? They looked everywhere. And I was yelling at the TV, it's a portal opening.
I was teaching a class once, and I was talking about clairtactus. It's tactile. When you get cold chills, that means spirit presence or truth. And the guy goes, oh my God, it's so true. I feel something crawling up my arm. It's amazing. And his wife looked and said, it's an ant.
Oh my God.
Anyway, all righty. Michelle Blair, love you guys. I love you too, Michelle. This is good. Did the public service announcement made by New York City about what to do in the event of a nuclear attack go out because they knew Trump had top secret nuclear weapons documents at Mar-a-Lago? The answer to that I see is yes.
When was this?
I don't know, but it was a public service announcement, according to her, made by New York City about what to do in the event of a nuclear attack.
Geez, we haven't gone through those since the 50s.
I think a lot of people are on high.
Yeah, I think they feared what was going on with Trump.
I remember in grade school, the sirens would go off and it was a nuclear disaster drill. And we had to go out in the hallway and bend over. And one day I refused to do it. And the teacher said, why? And I said, I'm just not going to do it. And they called my dad. And we were always told, if you misbehave in school, you'll get a whipping when you get home. Nowadays, that's the way it was.
That's how it works.
And he said, why won't you go in the hallway? I said, because Daddy, if they if they start dropping atomic bombs, we're all going to die anyway. And he said,
he thought that's logical.
Son.
It's the truth.
Exactly.
And they would send you in the hallway in my elementary school where you had to put your knees up and put your head. Windows were all around.
Exactly.
Those windows would have shattered and killed us.
Exactly. You get in that position and kiss your butt goodbye. Anyway, I remember my father coming during the Cuban Missile Crisis. They let school out. He had this old car and he had it all packed. He came with my mom, got my sister and I out of school. And I said, "Where are we going?" "We're going to your Aunt Susie's." Now, she lived so far out in the country, the rabbits had to carry their lunch. And she was like, I said, "Why are we going there?" And he said, "Well, if they drop bombs, they'll drop them on the cities. They're not going to drop them in the country." And in those days, they didn't have ballistic missiles. And we stayed there until that had passed.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know, I never saw my parents sweat it out. I remember mom watching TV, but I never was afraid.
I mean, we were this close to thermonuclear war.
Oh, I know. It's that was one of the highlights for President Kennedy.
It certainly was. Okay. So
And that's what's going on with Putin, you know.
right. Absolutely.
They act like we're not removing those missiles out of Cuba. And I'll tell you what, we're going to drop some bombs on. I mean, that's exactly how Putin is. But at the end of the day, he knows he's going to die. So.
Well, that's exactly why that they had that public service announcement in New York.
Okay.
Okay. Judith, Juliet. Hi, Mel and Linda. Love listening to your shows. Well, thank you. And she loves our sense of humor. Glad somebody does.
Yeah.
All right. When do you think the Russian invasion of Ukraine will end? At this point, Russian troops are using nuclear power plants as a cover from Ukrainian fire. It's going to be a long time, my guides tell me, but the Ukrainians will not give up. They're
going to go back in and take back their lands.
Right. Karen Stein.
But I feel Putin dying. So when Putin goes, things will turn around.
I think they're kind of got plans to assassinate him already. Both.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how it happens, and I'm sorry, I'm not good with time frames. And you know, my guides have been especially generous to let me know this because they're not into predicting when people die. That's not what they're there for.
Karen Steinis, will there be a nuclear disaster in Ukraine?
No.
I don't see it.
I heard no as clear as day.
She also wants to know what earth changes do we see coming? Well, Karen, my response without being cocky is turn on the TV. We've been talking about them on here forever.
two tornado warnings.
Tornadoes in places you never heard of them. Record floods in deserts. Droughts in places where they get a lot of rain. You know, tsunamis.
There's especially a high amount. I'm going to tell you something. This may be why the whole energy towards Biden changes, because he really cares. And I see enough devastation that we will actually kind of come together as a nation because we're just trying to help each other. And I see anybody that's lucky enough to not have had a horrible time with this, being able to give, you know, to others. But I see Biden, you know, he went to Kentucky and saw the damage and made sure they had plenty of money or whatever they needed. He's going to do that. I'm telling you, it's going to be sort of shocking. And we'll be glad it's over with.
He wasn't throwing paper towels, that's for sure.
No.
I mean, look at how everybody band together when Kentucky had those horrible tornadoes and all of that. I mean, how people band together in Highland Park here with that horrible shooting. I mean, people do band together. The good news is meat prices are coming down, gas prices are coming down. And my feeling is Biden numbers are looking up. But I tell you what's really going to hurt the repubes is overturning Roe v. Wade.
Oh, that's what even Trump said it to one of his people. He said, I don't know if the Supreme Court overturns Roe versus Wade, I'm nervous about what could happen to the Republicans.
Now, some people are asking about that woman, Darina Dugina. She was the one who was in a car bomb in Russia, and her father and herself were these ultra Putin supporters, and they're asking who did it. I don't think.
Oh, isn't it somebody's daughter too? Somebody next to Putin.
She's the daughter of just super.
Did the father die or just her?
Just her, but she was like her dad, ultra Putin and ultra I guess their version of ultra right wing.
Ukraine said they weren't in on this, but it was something with Ukraine, somebody who was really angry at Putin for what he's doing. Oh, thank you. It feels like it's people who are sick of Putin putting like Navalny and everybody in jail. It feels more related to Navalny, which is interesting.
It was Russians who did it, though. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was Russians who did
It
it.
was Russians who did not like Putin.
And I don't think they like what he's doing to the Ukraine either. All their children are getting killed because this guy's
somebody in their questions asked this one. Did Putin have it done to make it look like Ukraine's did it so he could use it as an excuse to do something?
Normally, I would say yes, but no, this was an actual plot to murder her. No.
I think too.
Normally, I would say yes, like this whole, that's why the place where the nuclear's working on, that's why he hasn't set it up to create chaos, because they were calling him out on it. Look what he's doing, and then he's going to blame the Ukrainians. They already put the sun on it, and he's like, shoot. But I'll tell you who's really helping us with this is the ETs. Let me tell you, they won't allow it, Armageddon. They will not allow it. They will stop it in its tracks. There's probably, if we knew people out there, they'd probably say we got more ET sightings than we've ever had.
Okay, I'll buy that. Okay, Ruby 37. Will Kansas Democrat Laura Kelly be reelected for governor in November? I haven't really looked at it. I don't know, but
I don't know either. I don't know who. What's her name? Lori Gelly?
Laura Kelly. She's a Democrat.
Oh, she's a Democrat.
Yes. Will she be reelected in November?
I'm feeling yes. I think the way she helped with the flooding and stuff.
Let me just pull something real quick. I'm using my regular cards today. Regular cards are harder to read.
I know. I used to know a lady who could do it. I can't.
The only reason I use them is because I can shuffle them better. I'm not a very good card shuffler.
She's got a bit of a fight here. I wonder who's running against her.
I saw the King of Diamonds, which means unexpected good fortune. So I would take that to mean a yes. I pulled the King of Clubs, which is speculation, successful speculation. So I would take that a yes. And then I see a 10 of Hearts, which would mean honors, fame. So I take those three to mean a yes.
I think so too.
All right.
I'm feeling whatever happened with this flood, she did right by the people. And that's what they're remembering.
And especially on how she's going to handle Roe v. Wade in that state.
Yes.
That's going to be huge. Okay.
Well, that Roe v. Wade, my friend, that's what it killed the Republicans.
Oh, did you hear about Indiana? The governor of Illinois is trying to get one of the big drug companies to come here, and they don't want to be in Indiana because of Indiana, their stance on no abortion at all.
Yeah.
Now the governor of Indiana, who's a total Trumplican, he's in Taiwan trying to get them to bring businesses to Indiana. I hope if they do, they tax the you-know-what out of them.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's what I think that the administration will do. You want to do business in a state like that, then we're going to charge you a super duper amount of tax.
Right.
That's what
I don't think they trust him. And I think some highfalutin Washington, D.C. is telling them, look out for this guy.
They are. Absolutely.
I'm feeling like they're talking to him, but they're not falling for it. Yeah, it's a rather large pharmaceutical. I can't remember the name of it.
I'll tell you when we're off.
Yeah, but I feel like they will move. I don't know if it's going to be Illinois, but I see them moving.
They will. They actually will. It was the same company that when Pence tried to pass that law in Indiana to say they could refuse to serve somebody if they were gay in public establishments. A lot of those companies refused to leave, so they had to rewrite the law.
Cool.
I'm sorry.
So does it start with an Eli or Eli? That's
good.
Okay.
All right. Wendy Valentine. Good morning, Linda and Mel.
What's morning? I haven't had my breakfast.
I did. I had a breakfast burrito. I cheated on my diet. What's going to happen to Lindsey Graham He
Oh
won't
my
testify.
God.
What's going to happen to Lindsey Graham won't testify, placed on hold. And Rick Scott missing GOP millions.
You know, he's the one that caused all that Medicare. He did Medicare fraud, all kinds of money, but they gave him the keys to the castle. Now they're all mad at him.
Well, they're going to find where a lot of that money went and was right to his pocket.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
Lindsay, I'm feeling it's just really pathetic. I actually feel sympathy and I shouldn't. He's just so one day this way, the next day this way. And I see Trump going down and he has no one. It's like he's standing there and no place to go because nobody wants him. Not the Republicans and not the Democrats.
Well, it's kind of what happened when Hitler fell. Those people like the Lindsey Grahams in those days of Germany. It's like, what happened to them? They just faded into nothingness, if you will.
I don't see him going to jail, but I will tell you his reputation is tarnished.
Well, Lindsey Graham's going to have to testify. Now, he can plead the fifth.
He will.
But they're going to try to get him to flip. That's what's going to happen. But he's done. But Rick Scott, that's a different story.
He'll probably go to jail.
He will. I see indictment. Now, that brings up a question at some point when if some ultra right wing repube gets in, will they pardon him? But a lot of those presidential pardons that Trump did, they're going to prove that they were paid off to do it. And so those will be overturned. And I think they're going to really start to put certain guidelines on how the president can do pardons and to whom.
Oh, yeah, they will. They will.
Exactly.
And they'll find out that Trump was given to the highest bidder. He was selling those pardons.
Oh, this is a good one from Joseph. And our guide had shown this, and I got cold chills. I love it. I didn't know this. Oh, thank you, Joseph, for filling us in.
What?
Hi, Linda and Mel. Thank you for what you do. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks.
Well, Beto surging ahead in Texas. Well, let's see. With Beto surging ahead in Texas, will Texas Republicans cheat to cause Beto not to win?
Well, that's what Sterling says.
I think they'll try.
I see Beto winning, but Sterling sees he wins, but he doesn't get in because they cheated.
See, I see him winning as well. And I see him holding a high political office. And so, they might.
My guides were real good. But the last time I was so excited about him, I was thinking he was going to win. He's going to win. And right in the middle of something, that guide said, no, Linda, he doesn't win.
I pulled a 3 of clubs, and that means fulfillment of highest hopes for him. So.
He's hitting the ground and he's getting handed the keys to the castle.
He is. He's not going to give up.
I see him winning.
He's going to be
cheat or no cheat.
He's going to be president someday.
Oh, you think so? So, Kevin, not the Kevin Loving Vibration, but the other Kevin, he thinks Bootylicious will be president someday.
I do. I see Bootylicious as president as one day too. I see him as vice president first.
Okay, I was going to say I see vice president too.
Then we'll have the first man, the first gentleman, so the first lady. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, a sister in the White House. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
All right.
Beat that, SCOTUS.
All right, Judith. It's been reported by CNN that Alexander we've already asked that Alexander Dugin is Putin's spiritual guide, and he was the architect of the Ukrainian invasion. His daughter was Darina Dugina. In Russian, if you're a female, they put an A on the end of your name, making it female. So rather than her last name being Dugin, it's Dugina. That's why.
Let me tell you, Putin would be gone too if they could get their hands on him.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is a good one. Allie M. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and insights. Will the credit system end or be modified? Many people are negatively affected by their scores, and the system is built to make it impossible to get or keep a good score. I do see modifications to it.
I do see that. And they go to the cloud and they can see your paycheck stubs and everything.
Well, I think part of it is like, the minute your credit score goes down, they can charge you really super high interest rates. But the minute that you exceed over, I think 30% of your, like if you have $1,000 balance and let's credit line, and let's say you go over $300, 30% of that for a period of 30 days or more, even if you pay on time, it brings your credit score down. And I think the reason they do that is so that they could jack up the interest rates.
Right.
And I see legislations being passed so that they can't jack up the interest rates like that so much.
Yeah. Yeah. They're definitely going to change it up.
They will. Okay, sunflowers. I like that. Was Jamal Khashoggi assassinated to prevent him from reporting on Trump Kushner selling nuclear secrets to the Saudis? Ooh, that's good.
I saw that before, and that sounds very familiar to me. Like it feels right.
I'm getting cold chills up and down, and I'm hearing
that's true.
Yes. And you know what? I never thought of this before now, but when she asked about selling the secrets to the Saudis, I got cold chills and my psychic light bulb went on, and it's like, they did give the Saudis nuclear secrets.
They did. Oh, and Putin has everything, and he's laughing at us. Yeah, that putz, what's his name? Trump. He gave us everything we wanted.
Wow.
I'll tell you why the DOJ was desperate. Because the people, the intel they have out in the world that take years to build these relationships, were realizing someone has been talking, because they were realizing that there was trouble brewing. There was something going on. And they had to go back. And they're realizing it's coming from Trump. He was selling this information.
Right.
He gave did you see, he even had their intel spies, their names and how much money they make.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Which really jeopardized a lot of that. So now they had to get rid of all those people, put them somewhere else. And I'm sure there were some people killed because of it. And I think
I'm sure.
I think that the CIA is keeping secret who was killed because they don't want to let that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Do you see any earthquake activity in the New Madrid fault zone, JB?
Where's Madrid?
I think it's in California, if I'm not mistaken.
I see some earthquakes happening here, but not Armageddon, where half California goes into the sea.
Okay. Do we have
But
time?
I'll have to go pretty soon, my friend, because
we have time for two more.
Another
No.
appointment at 11. Huh?
We have time for a couple more.
One more.
Okay. Will Katie Hobbs win against Carrie Lake for governor in Arizona?
She'll win.
Okay.
Katie Hobbs is going to win. Carrie Lake, I just knew she wasn't going to win.
And then somebody wants to know, like Lisa Keck, if Trump knew about the raid and set everything up so the FBI wouldn't find anything. They found stuff.
Yeah, and they let them know 45 minutes ahead of time, the Secret Service, they said they were on their way.
Right. All right. So, Linda, it's been a pleasure, my dear.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
So next week, your show?
Next week, my show. Next Monday.
All right.
Monday.
Can't trust that day. Yeah. No, you can't trust that day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Namaste.
Namaste.
Hold on, Linda. Let me stop the recording and